I am happy to welcome my Egyptian colleague, my Rashad Abdellatif. She's a master's degree candidate in Alexandria University, and she's also a curator at the Graeco-Roman Museum, Alexandria. Her paper is in collaboration with our colleague Reham Refae, also a curator from the Graeco-Roman Museum, and she will be joining us online. Thank you, Mike. So it's a paper entitled Using Simulation in the Development of Museum Display, the Graeco-Roman Museum in Alexandria, Egypt, as a Model. Welcome, May and Reham.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank CPEG for this great opportunity. I will start. This is the presentation of our presentation using simulation in the development of museums display, the Graeco-Roman Museum in Alexandria, Egypt as a model. Okay. First of all, I will give you a quick introduction about the history of the museum. The Graeco-Roman Museum is the second oldest museum in Egypt. First building specifically constructed to be a museum. It was established in 1892, then reopened in 1895 at this current location now. The Italian archaeologist Giuseppe Potti, he was Italian, founded it to collect the antiquities of Alexandria rather than transferring them to the Egyptian Museum. The museum was closed in 25 for renovation and development of the building and the museum display scenario. And it opened in last October. We almost are celebrating now our first anniversary. The innovation was basically about the new display, the simulation. We changed the display with a lot of simulation inside the museum. Also, the lighting was completely renovated. The labeling, the banners, and the accessibility. The museum now is accessible to all visitors. And also, we built a second floor. Although in the past, there was only one floor. This is the new plan of the museum. It contains 16 halls with 30 collection into floors. This is the new and the old display. This is the Apis Pole, one of our masterpieces. This is also the old scenario and the new scenario. This is the garden or the patio. It was in the past like a garden. Now we are using it as an event space and with a masterpiece statue in the middle. The simulation, Reham now will talk about it. Reham, you can join me?
Yes, okay. Good day to all. At first, it's a pleasure to join you virtually today. I had hoped to be present in person, but unfortunately, I was unable to attend. I look forward to the next meeting, inshallah. Simulation is defined as the imitation of a situation or process. And according to Cambridge Dictionary, a simulation is a model of real activity created for training or to solve a problem. By employing simulation within the museum display, the aim was to address the challenge of comprehending archaeological artifacts removed from their original sites. Simulation enables visitors to visualize the artifacts in their original context, gaining a better understanding of their function and significance. Furthermore, simulation enhances learning and memory retention, making the exhibit more engaging and educational. Simulation can be achieved by either through technology or manually, by utilizing non-archaeological elements to complete the archaeological context of artifacts. This method was employed in the Graeco-Roman Museum. Examples include the Roman house, triclinium, or a banquet room, Roman sheep, and the crocodile temple wall. Let's get started with triclinium or banquet room. The banquet room was essential component of Greek and Roman large houses in which the owner received his male guests and held banquet and gathering. The room was typically rectangular, furnished with couches for seating or reclining. They often extend on three sides of the room, while the fourth is left for the entrance, as you can see in the picture. This is where the name of this room, triclinium, derives from. The floor is usually decorated with fine mosaic. In an archaeological site in Alexandria that was once a Roman villa, the remains of a banquet hall, triclinium, adorned with a mosaic floor, were discovered. The top right image shows the triclinium and the mosaic panels upon that discovery. May you help me?
Yes, I'm with you.
The central mosaic panel showing the head of Medusa, a figure from Greek mythology. This central mosaic panel was transferred to the Graeco-Roman Museum for display in 1996. The remaining mosaic panels were moved to an archaeological storage. Later, the mosaic of Medusa was moved to Alexandria National Museum. Yes, next, please, Mai. Yes. Later, the mosaic of Medusa was moved to Alexandria National Museum and displayed on a wall in the Greek and Roman section, as you can see at the right image. And luckily, as a former curator at Alexandria National Museum, I can tell you exactly how it was displayed there. Actually, neither I nor my colleagues were able to effectively explain this mosaic within its archaeological context. Visitors also couldn't imagine how this mosaic adorned a banquet, nor could they visualize the banquet itself or its function. Nevertheless, upon the artifacts return back to the Greco-Roman Museum and its subsequent display alongside other mosaic floors, a modern reconstruction of a banquet was created to provide context. As you can see in the picture, left picture, a modern this innovation approach allowed visitors to effortlessly grasp the function of the mosaic floor and the triclinium itself. Visitors could even engage in hands-on experience, sitting at a banquet and walking on the mosaic protected by glass, as if they were in a real banquet room of a wealthy Roman Alexandrian villa. As you can see in the picture, there is a group of museum visitors enjoying themselves while sitting at the banquet. As the evidence of the effectiveness of using simulation to showcase the triclinium and mosaic, a survey was conducted among museum visitors regarding the display of the mosaic of Medusa between Alexandria National Museum and Greco-Roman Museum. We first asked them, did you visit Alexandria National Museum and Greco-Roman Museum and saw the mosaic of the Medusa when it was displayed at the two museums? 97% responded yes. Then we asked them, next please, Mai, if they specialized in archaeology, museology, heritage, or art. 58.1% responded with yes, while 39.2% responded with no. We asked them whether, next Mai, we asked them whether they know that the Medusa mosaic during its play at Alexandria National Museum was used as a banquet hall floor. 50% responded negatively. This means that even some of specialists didn't know the function of the Medusa mosaic during its display at Alexandria National Museum. Next, when asked if they could visualize the entire banquet hall, 59.5 responded with no. They were unable to do so. This means that even some of the specialists who understood the function of the mosaic couldn't fully imagine the appearance of the banquet hall. However, when asked if they understood the function of the mosaic in the Greco-Roman Museum, 93.6% responded positively, at level between from 20 to 40%, from 40 to 70, and from 70 to 100%. Next, Mai. When asked if the simulation technique and the display of the Medusa mosaic alongside other mosaics panels helped them visualize Roman banquet, over 74% responded positively. When asked about the display of the Medusa mosaic at Alexandria National Museum, over 45% responded that it was acceptable. However, at the Greco-Roman Museum, over 85% rated the display as excellent. Furthermore, we can observe this simulation in a recently constructed Roman-style house designed to mimic the simple Roman homes. This house showcases a collection of artifacts that were once used in daily life and domestic activities. The house consists of a kitchen, which includes stoves, some pottery jars used for cooking, storage, and so on. Also, we can see a part of a Roman meal. Then we can see a simulation for a bathroom which includes a basin for water purification. The following part simulates banquet room with two statues for a man and woman reclining, each holding a drinking cup in their hands as one of the daily life domestic scenes. Therefore, also both statues were originally coven covers, and their old display was in a funerary context. They have been reused in the new display as scene of domestic life. In the background, a simulation of a library with modern scrolls, papyrus, and in the middle there is a small statue of Greek educated person. Furthermore, the house was adorned with mosaic placed in different areas, and collection of oil lamps used for lighting were placed in triangular niches within the house. This display makes the visitors feel familiarity with the artifacts, transporting visitors back in time approximately 2,000 years. The display also encourages visitors to compare ancient homes to modern ones. For example, seeing the banquet halls as a living room or dining room, the mosaic floor are like today's marble or ceramic tiles. This immersive experience helps people remember the information better than the traditional display. As my colleague Rashad will explain, over to you, Mai.
I'm gonna talk now about the third example with us is the Sophic Temple. This temple was constructed and dedicated by Alexandrian citizen Agathodorus. He was an officer. That's according to the inscription. It was established on the temple was established on the 4th of October, 137 BC. To worship of the crocodile god in Fayoum town. The temple stood at the middle of the town on a main street. It was built within a sacred large mud brick enclosure wall, which we are simulating here with a modern mud brick at the displaying now. The temple has an Egyptian-style axial plan consisting of 3 successive halls, each presented by a small pylon. The first gate is followed by 2 statues of lions. The shrine is located behind the third gate. This shrine is divided into 3 niches for the sacred mummies of the crocodile. In the floor of the vestibule, presenting the shrine, 2 bases of wooden structure on which the crocodile mummy was carried during the sacred procession. Stelas, paintings, and stone and wooden statues were also found inside. The first display inside the museum, this is the old, this is the main, okay, I don't know what to do here.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Did something wrong? Sorry. Okay. Okay. This is the main place of the Sophic temples. This is where they were found in Fayoum. That's the time of Priccia. He was the Evristo Priccia. He was Italian. He's the second director of the Graeco-Roman Museum. He discovered this temple, and then he came to Alexandria to rule the Graeco-Roman Museum. After the death of Giuseppe Potti, the first director, when he came and started directing the museum, he decided to bring the Sophic temple from Fayoum to Alexandria and put it inside and display it inside the museum. Okay, this is the original place of the temple. This is when he brought the temple to the museum at 1930. It was not gathered together as a whole temple. It was separated. The pylon was at the garden. The lion was also at the garden. The Sophic mummy was inside the museum's hall. So it was not displaying well. Now at our new displaying method, the scenario board decided to gather all the pieces of the temple to make it again completely as it was in the past, and also simulating an enclosure wall, a mud brick wall, to give the original atmosphere of the original temple at its place. Okay, and this specific temple, it's impress everyone who come to the museum. This spot exactly is the favorite spot to take pictures. Second, I'm going to talk now about the 4th example with us is the Roman ship. The Roman ship is at the 2nd floor at our museum. Alexandria had played a private role in the Mediterranean trade ever since the city was founded in 3032 BC by Alexander the Great. One of the largest port at the Mediterranean coastal, Alexandria was a major center of civilization in ancient world, controlling commerce between Egypt and Eastern Mediterranean, and has continued through its long history to act a vital crossing point for merchants and their trade on the maritime route between Asia and Europe. This boat simulation a type of ship common between the 2nd and the 7th century ED. The purpose of simulation is to highlight the significance of the maritime trade in the life of the city of Alexandria and the Alexandrians. This type of boat was built with shell first technique with active frame. This technique starts by setting the boat spine, followed with the bottom planking. Afterward, the builder placed the floor frame, then the half frame. The whole line is in the design of this boat were inspired from shipwreck dated to the 2nd century ED that was discovered in southern France. The ship hold it loaded with all types of goods, from the hack opened in the deck. The principal cargo containers are the amphora, that you can see it here, which were stacked in the row and column according to the plan for loading and uploading during the voyage. Some ship had a cabinet which be entered from the deck, and which the cabin kept his personal belongings and those of the crew. Displaying this simulation of the ship in the near scenario was to complete the theme of the trading in the 2nd floor. We are displaying first the agora, and then the ship, and then the coins, to complete the idea of trading at the past. Then this is how it looked like, the Roman ship, how they storage the amphora. This is another examples. We did surveys to see how the visitors applied or see the simulation, and if it's given them a good idea about the pieces, then before or no. Okay. This is some of our survey. We see the ages, almost of them were from 15 to 25. And this specific age didn't saw the old museum, the old display, because the museum was closed for 18 years. So this is a new experience for them. They don't know anything about displaying these pieces. Did you visit the Graeco-Roman Museum? Almost of them, yes. Did you know some of the display simulation? We want to know if they are understanding that this is not artifacts, real artifacts. There are simulation. Some of them understood it, some not, but almost of them understood that. Did the simulation of the Roman house bring to its ancient historical form? 43 said yes, 50-50. Did the simulation of the crocodile temple and the walls surrounding it show what the temple looked like at ancient time? The half of them said yes. The 2nd floor, we see the Roman boat or ship. Did you like this idea of simulation? All 64 said yes, 70% to 100%. About the triclinium, Reham described it in details. And lastly, we talked about all the renovation and all the display. Did you like it or not? Almost 92.6% said yes. This is the percentage. I want you to go with me inside the museum to see a little bit until all of you come to Alexandria to see it in real. This is a small video. This video is produced by the Ministry of Antiquity. This is the Roman house. This is the triclinium. Inside it, the Medusa mosaic. Roman house again. This is the Sophic temple. You can imagine what it feels to be inside a temple inside the museum. This is the only temple inside a museum in Egypt. This is the Roman ship. And finally, the queen in the patio. These statues were found underwater and restored, and the conservation team made a miracle to put it back in one piece because it was found in 3 pieces. This is our beloved Graeco-Roman Museum. Okay. The mic with you, Reham. Reham.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The recommendation.
Okay, our recommendation to do the survey, we recommended to apply more the simulation methods to museum display at the Graeco-Roman Museum. Also to enhance the display with the simulation, technology simulation, like VR, hologram, interactive screens, interactive games, and so on. Such as I will give you an example from the museum. Let me share screen for it.
Okay.
Can you see this photo? For wall painting from the temple of Atrib in Banha, which represent some mixed Egyptian and Greek gods. The painting, as you can see, is incomplete, and visitors have never been able to imagine the missing parts. Therefore, we recommended using technological simulation to display, for example, this painting. Thank you.
We want to thank you, CPEG, and if you want to know more about the renovation and the rehabilitation of the museum, you can see a PhD made entitled Evidence-Based Practice Research for the Rehabilitation of the Graeco-Roman Museum, Responding to Audience Orientation by Dr. Isra El-Gizeri, and the copyright of the video, it's about of Ministry of Antiquity, and the copyright of the photo of Graeco-Roman Museum and the Graeco-Roman Museum official Facebook page. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Maya and Reham, for this amazing presentation. Thanks so much. Any questions?
Not so much a question as a comment. We were lucky enough to visit the museum.
For Reham to listen.
Okay, whatever. We were lucky enough to visit the museum last year, which was fabulous, absolutely wonderful. However, there is one thing that a lot of museums seem to have an issue with: the colour of their tensor barriers. When you showed the Sobek temple, it completely detracts from the temple itself because you've got bright blue tensors which destroy any photographs you try to take of it. And that happens worldwide. Museums seem to just plonk a tensor barrier down of the wrong colour. And maybe in the future, when you are redoing such things, you could maybe go down to black or brown.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah.
Can I comment, or you want to comment, Reham?
Okay. The scenario board have a meaning for the colors. The blue for the Ptolemaic period or the Greek identity. I know it may be not. No. Oh. Okay.
The comment was how when you try to take a photo, we know that it's to stop people getting too close, but you just need to tone the color down.
The tone.
Otherwise, you
Yes,
of the
I
barriers,
understand. Yes,
and it
yes.
happens worldwide. It's
Yes.
not just you.
Yes,
Lots of museums have the wrong color tensors,
yes,
and you can't take decent images.
yes. I agree. I agree.
Merci. I'm very happy to be able to see the first images I have of the new Alexandria Museum, and thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
A comment, if I may, because you announced in one of your first slides that the lighting will be dramatic.
Yes.
The photos you showed that you reached that goal, but to my taste, and perhaps it would be shared, it is too dramatic.
Yes.
The objects are in a kind of
We have that.
independence. You see what I mean? This is a taste, so everybody has his own opinion. But anyway, and then a question, if I may.
Sure.
The labels, in which languages are they, and how did you do to coordinate this so difficult issue of the labels in our museums?
The label is in Arabic and English, and also the banners. And there is the committee of scenario board. They are the responsible person for the making the labeling in our museum. It's a committee inside of our Ministry of Antiquity, specialized.
The museum scenario.
Well, we are not responsible in any way to write the labels.
Yes. Actually, yes, we have within our Ministry of Antiquities the higher committee for museum scenarios, and they are one who the decision makers regarding the interpretation languages. Maybe it differs within the Grand Egyptian Museum and dynamic. As for the Grand Egyptian Museum, I was just explaining that to Emily, that we have a private sector operator who operates the museum. So within our work for interpretation, we suggested to have many language, not only the Arabic and English. So for the Grand Egyptian Museum, we have main three language for the body content. We have the English language, Arabic, and the Japanese language. For the headers or the titles of the labels and banners, we have many language. We have the English, French, Italian, Chinese, and Arabic. So that's a kind of a new approach that the new museums is taking nowadays within the Egyptian museums. For the dynamic, I believe also they have three languages within the labels, not within all the galleries, not yet. As you know, the dynamic is not fully opened within its galleries. But within the Grand Egyptian Museum, the panel work and the interpretation work is fully done with the language that I mentioned.
But in Alexandria, so it is English and
Arabic and English, yes. The label, the banners, and the videos also translated in English.
Some labels need to be shortly and exactly to be short in a two language only, to have not too large or two spaces. Yes, so I think that in the future they try to get or
More.
to modify about the language or to add it more language. Thank you.
Of course, this is what all museums face, the size of the label, the number of words or character you're allowed to write, and so we have all the same issues, but then at an end, because of course your presentation was much concentrated on new mediation technologies and what, and it is a very important issue, but also the label keeps to be the basic contact, whether, you know, the first contact you have ever with a monument in front of you, a statue, a papyrus, whatever. So whatever we implement in our museums for a better engagement and all that, there are still the issues of the labels and in which languages they are, yes, so that people understand what they have under the eyes.
Okay.
We are doing efforts, Vincent.
Yes.
And recently
We are trying.
We have, yes, we have many efforts regarding especially the interpretation, as it's the key message that we are delivering to the visitors, what we want them to take out of the museum while they are going out. So, and recently we are using the simulation, as Mai and Reham explained. We are using the illustrations. We are using the audio and the visual tools, digital streams. So, and recently, I believe there is a good revolution within the interpretation, within especially the new Egyptian museums. Yes, for me, within the Grand Egyptian Museum, I consider it as it. As I already worked with the Egyptian Museum, which is a very classical one. So if we will shift to the Grand Egyptian Museum, for example, we have many efforts in integrating digital interventions within our interpretation and our display and showcasing of our heritage and our artifacts.
If you saw the old museum, you will think the same.
Yes, we are all concerned by exactly the same issues, but this is not my point. My point is the printed labels, which are the very first contact between an object, a masterpiece, whatever, and our understanding of it. I'm not talking about, you know.
We are totally agree. We are totally agree, Vincent. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now he cannot hear.
The label in Louvre in French.
In French.
Louvre Museum.
How many language in Louvre Museum in labels? Tell us.
English and French.
Okay, where is the other language?
I don't understand the joke character of your question, my dear colleague. I don't understand why you say, where is the other language? I will show you, you come. No. The question is much more simple than what you put, my dear. And no, I'm trying to share the experiences we all know in all our museums. I'm not trying to say that it's not enough, or it should be better, or it is a before and an after. I am talking about the huge matter of the printed labels. Because it is not the concept, the technique.
The content, but it's not only about the content.
The implementation of it.
Yeah.
And that's it. My question was only on that point. It was not to boast of what we did or what you shall do, what you have already done, what has to be done, etc.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Yes, sure.
I want just to thank my colleague Reham for participating with me in this research. I wish she was with me now. I want also to thank Dr. Heba Magdi. She's my doctor at my master's degree in Faculty of Tourism and Hotel. She's the one who told me to participate in this great annual meeting. And I want again to thank you all, and especially Esther. Without her, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you very much.